Hey there, history buffs! Today we're diving into the cauldron of World War I, a global conflict that rewrote the map of the 20th century. Buckle up, because things are about to get explosive. Picture this: Europe in the early 1900s. A tangled web of alliances with nations promising to defend each other if attacked. It was like a powder keg waiting for a spark. And that spark? The assassination of Archduke Franz Ferdinand of Austria-Hungary. On June 28, 1914, a Serbian nationalist, Gavrilo Princip, shot the Archduke and his wife in Sarajevo. This event set off a chain reaction, with Austria-Hungary declaring war on Serbia and other nations quickly pulled into the fray by their alliances. But the assassination was just the trigger. Underlying tensions had been brewing for years. Nationalism, imperialism and militarism created a climate ripe for conflict. Nationalism fueled rivalries between countries, each believing in their own superiority. Imperialism sparked competition for colonies and resources, further inflaming tensions. And militarism created an arms race, with nations stockpiling weapons and glorifying military strength. The assassination of Archduke Franz Ferdinand, while a pivotal event, was merely the match that ignited the powder keg of European tensions. The stage was set for a global conflict that would reshape the world. With the declarations of war, Europe erupted into chaos. The continent was quickly divided into two main alliances: the Central Powers, led by Germany and Austria-Hungary, and the Allied Powers, led by France, Britain and Russia. The war was fought on multiple fronts, but the most brutal and iconic was the Western Front. Here, a complex network of trenches stretched for hundreds of miles across France and Belgium. Soldiers on both sides hunkered down in these muddy, rat-infested ditches, enduring horrific conditions and constant shelling. Life in the trenches was a nightmare. Imagine constant bombardment, the stench of death, and the ever-present threat of enemy snipers. It was a brutal, static form of warfare, where gains were measured in yards and casualties numbered in the hundreds of thousands. From the Battle of the Somme to the Battle of Verdun, the Western Front became a symbol of the war's brutality and futility. Millions of soldiers fought and died in these trenches, their sacrifices etched into the landscape of Europe. As the war dragged on, new players entered the fray. The Ottoman Empire joined the Central Powers, while Italy and Japan sided with the Allies. The United States initially remained neutral, but Germany's unrestricted submarine warfare, which targeted civilian ships, including the sinking of the Lusitania in 1915, gradually shifted American public opinion. In 1917, the United States declared war on Germany, tipping the balance of power in favor of the Allies. American troops and resources poured into Europe, providing a much-needed boost to the Allied war effort. Meanwhile, the war was taking a toll on the home front. Food shortages, economic hardship and war weariness were widespread. In Russia, the strain of war led to revolution. In 1917, Tsar Nicholas II was overthrown and the Bolsheviks, led by Vladimir Lenin, seized power, promising peace, land and bread to the war-weary Russian people. The Russian Revolution had a profound impact on World War I. Russia withdrew from the war, freeing up German troops to fight on the Western Front. However, the revolution also inspired other socialist movements around the world, planting the seeds for future conflicts. Section 4. Peace at a price. The war ends, scars remain. By 1918, after 4 long years of fighting, the tide had turned decisively in favor of the Allies. Germany, facing exhaustion and dwindling resources, was forced to seek an armistice. On November 11, 1918, the guns fell silent on the Western Front. The world rejoiced at the end of the war to end all wars, but the peace that followed was far from perfect. The Treaty of Versailles, signed in 1919, officially ended the war but imposed harsh punishments on Germany. Germany was forced to accept blame for the war, cede territory, disarm its military and pay massive reparations. These punitive measures left Germany economically crippled and fueled resentment, creating fertile ground for future conflicts. Section 5. The World Remade Legacy of the Great War. World War I had a profound and lasting impact on the world. It toppled empires, redrew national boundaries, and ushered in an era of political and social upheaval. The war also accelerated technological advancements, leading to innovations in aviation, communication, and medicine. The war's legacy is complex and multifaceted. It shattered the illusion of progress and enlightenment that had characterized the 19th century, leaving behind a sense of disillusionment and uncertainty. The war also had a profound impact on art, literature, and culture, giving rise to new artistic movements that reflected the horrors and complexities of the conflict. Understanding World War I is crucial for comprehending the 20th century and the world we live in today. It was a conflict that reshaped the political, social, and cultural landscape of the globe, leaving scars that continue to shape our world.